Yo, we gotta talk about Vergil Ortiz, man. He fought last weekend, and he had a really tough fight in Vergil Ortiz, bro. Vergil Ortiz had a really tough fight. He had a really tough fight against Sergey Bochik, and I had Vergil Ortiz winning that fight, bro. Vergil Ortiz won that fight. It was a tough fight. Don't get me wrong, bro. It was a tough fight for Vergil Ortiz, but he showed different dynamics in that fight. People are saying that he lost his fight, which is, I cannot believe people are actually saying that Vergil Ortiz lost his fight against Sergey Bochek, bro. He did not lose his fight, man. He won this fight. Plain and simple. He outpunched Sergey Bochek in 8 rounds. More than 8 rounds. He outpunched him mostly in every round. He outlanded him. Overall, in the fight, in total and in each round, bro. Sergey Bochek only beat him in terms of like more punches thrown, or more punches landed. For Sergey Bochek, it was like 3 or 4 rounds, or 2 rounds. But I can't believe people are dismissing the body work of Vergil Ortiz, bro. Vergil Ortiz did some amazing body work against Sergey Bochek. He was going through the body. He was going for mostly body shots. He was occasionally going to the head, but most of his attack was in the body. And Sergey Bochek, most of his shots were in the face of Vergil. Were mostly headshots. That's why Vergil Ortiz's face looks busted up, because Sergey Bochek was targeting that part of the body. He was targeting the face of Vergil Ortiz. But if you look at Bochek's body, it was really red. You know, you could tell the damage of the body shots. You know, and those 2 knockdowns, they did not hurt Ortiz, bro. Those knockdowns did not hurt Ortiz. He stood back up with the quickness, bro. Those were mostly flash knockdowns. Those weren't really knockdowns that damaged him at all, dude. I just cannot believe that people believe just because Sergey Bochek got 2 knockdowns, that means that he won the fight. Bro, the boxing is scored by rounds, not about overall. And in my cards, Ortiz won more rounds than Sergey Bochek, man. He had Bochek hurt 2 or 3 times in that fight. But Vergil was just getting tired in the later rounds that he couldn't, push. But he got him hurt multiple times, man. And people are saying that Bochek hurt Ortiz. He probably hurt him once. But that's it. Like, I didn't see Vergil Ortiz hurt more than once. Yes, his face got busted up, but there's actually some fighters that their faces get more bruised up faster. For example, Oscar Valdez. You throw 2 or 3 jabs to Oscar Valdez, his face gets all red and all marked up because of the 2 or 3 jabs. It's just some people get, their skin, it's just for some reason they get busted up a bit more. You know what I'm saying? But Vergil was not hurt in that fight. How some people are saying that he was hurt in that fight, where he wasn't hurt at all, dude. I can't believe it, man. People are genuinely just disregarding the body work of Ortiz, man. Not only that, in the later rounds, he started to box. He started to use his jab more, distance, move more, and that's what he was doing. He was pushing Sergey Bochek a lot in the fight. For me, the ring generalship was from Ortiz. He was pushing Sergey Bochek back. Alright? And Sergey Bochek, and the only times that he was pushing Ortiz back was when Ortiz was boxing and moving back and using his distance. Because Sergey Bochek started to get success with his work, with the inside work. And that's when Ortiz decided to swap it up, to change it. And he did. And for me, he won those last 3 rounds. He won the championship rounds, bro. He outlanded Bochek in every round. In those last three championship rounds, bro. He won that fight. He hurt him in the 11th with the hook, with the left hook. But he just couldn't really finish him. You know? Sergey Bochek, he's tough. He's a tough son of a gun. And he showed it. And he showed that his skin is tough. You know? There's some fighters that are harder to get bruised up, busted up. And there's some other fighters that are, for some reason, their skin is a lot more sensitive. And when they get touched up a bit, they get marked up. And that's what happened with Vergil Ortiz, bro. In most of his fights, he comes out with some bruises, you know? And he was having some good work with that. He was using his movement, dodging, weaving, countering. Sergey in the first couple of rounds, he was doing amazing work, you know? If it wasn't for those two knockdowns, man, let's be honest. If it wasn't for those two knockdowns, the fight would have been way more to Ortiz, man. And the reason why it wasn't is because those two knockdowns. And there's a lot of people out there who just have no idea about boxing and how it's scored, you know. So I want to give a huge congratulations to Vergil Ortiz Jr., man, because he went out there, showed a lot of heart, showed levels, and he showed that he's a big dog, bro. This his undefeated KO. His KO streak is over. His 100% KO is over. But this showed he needs these fights. He needs these tough fights where he goes 12 rounds, because he needs to get that experience of going 12. So I'm happy he went 12 because he needed it. Especially because in his last couple of fights, he didn't even go past the first round in his last two fights. So he really needed the activity. So I'm really proud of Vergil Ortiz, man. Fuck the haters, man. Fuck the haters. They don't know shit about boxing. You dominated those rounds where he knocked you down. Before, you were dominating before the knockdown and after the knockdown. It wasn't like Sergey Bochek, once he took you down, he took over and started, you know, hitting you with everything and started pushing you back and started... Nah, man. It was the opposite. It looked like you were the one that took these guys, that knocked these guys down, because you were the one that was moving forward, pushing them, throwing body shots, you know, making Sergey Bochek not throw, cover up. You did perfect. You did amazing, man. You did great. So huge shout outs to Vergil Ortiz, man. And is he ready for Crawford? I think he needs to have one or two more fights in before he fights Crawford, because Crawford is he's a tricky guy, man. He's a tricky guy, and he has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. And I just want Ortiz to have two more fights in this weight class, and then go after Crawford. But if he goes for Crawford right now, he goes for Crawford. For me, my heart goes for Vergil Ortiz if he fights against Crawford, because I'm going to be going for Vergil Ortiz, but I know it's going to be a slim chance of him beating Crawford. But nonetheless, Team Ortiz Jr. forever, all the way, man. All right. And I don't want people to be calling me biased in here. Ortiz is a nice guy. He's a great dude, man. Outside the ring, he's a beast inside of the ring, but outside the ring, he's a nice gentleman. He's a nice guy. He's a cool kid, you know, chill. He's just dedicated. He's a dedicated man, and he wants to make history. So, yeah, man, can't wait. And he fought somebody that nobody wanted to fight, you know. So, Vergil Ortiz, man, what a beast.